Good afternoon. This is Debra V. Wilson, and I am in England. It is Sunday. The time is 1400 hours and 49 minutes, and that's GMT. I have two YouTube channels. I have spent the bulk of my efforts on the YouTube channel around national security models, with the focus being in Alpha Order, Canada, Israel, and the United Kingdom. I look at national security modeling from the construction of it by the state, which is a top-down view, and then I look at national security models, how we, the civilians, the consumers, experience the model. So that's a bottom-up perspective. I also have a channel, my second YouTube channel looks at religiosity, the expression of religiosity for people of faith. I occasionally look at people of no faith and how they experience religiosity and how they construct it, but the bulk, the bandwidth of my efforts on that channel, which I don't do I haven't really not done very many. I've been remiss, I'm tongue-tied, sorry, because I've been remiss in posting to that channel, posting podcasts to that channel. I will try to do better. I will endeavor to show equality between the two channels, because I think they're both very interesting. At least they're very interesting for me. There's a particular reason why I want to increase my posting to that channel, and I will share that in a few weeks. In any case, I will proceed. I am 61 years old. I continually mention my age as a marker in time from where I emerged. I'm from the south side of Chicago in America. I grew up in a community called Woodlawn. It was one of the strategic epicenters for the African American civil rights movement. I grew up seeing an iteration of religion that was militarized to empower, embolden, restore dignity, and to protect during the civil rights movement. I saw and grew up understanding that there wasn't any one version of Christianity or any religion. The religion is a human expression for those who are people of faith, my opinion, for those of us who are people of faith, and how we define and connect with the divinity and what we name that divinity, and how we believe that divinity performs in our life and how we interact with that. And so with the civil rights movement, the performance of the Creator, most African Americans are Christian, and most African Americans of faith are Christian, and so the performance of the Creator was influenced around narratives of a Christian God, Jesus, the Lord Jesus, the King Jesus, our protector. And during that time and in previous times, in great struggle for African Americans for human rights, dignity, and safety, it has been Jesus who was the warrior, that we got into line behind Jesus and asked Jesus to guide us through a particular battle: slavery, the Jim Crow. So I have always understood the elasticity of faith for those of us of faith, and always seek to understand what's going on and what explains the ways in which a particular expression of religiosity emerges. Most African Americans are Protestant. I also attended C of E church, a C of E church, the main church in Birmingham in 2010. And I would sit there and listen to the sermons and the way in which the people in that congregation expressed their Christianity. The African Americans, and then my home-based community where I am from, were Christian, overwhelmingly Christian and Protestant, but their expressions and their understanding of the Creator, Jesus Christ, was completely different from what I saw in Birmingham, England in 2010. And so I always want to understand, for those of us of faith, what influences, what factors produce the way in which we connect to a belief system in which we believe there is a God, a divinity, an all-powerful and all-knowing. So I'm going to do a little bit of exploration with that, a little bit more of that on this channel. And as I always do, I hope you join me in that journey of exploration, of curiosity, of wanting to know. For me, the most fascinating part of wanting to know is that journey, is to have your own assumptions challenged and to have to learn. Because if you're a thinking person, and I'm hoping the few people that listen to my channel are thinking people, then as a thinking person, you know it's quite possible that your understanding of a situation must be wrong, must be right, must be, oh, I don't know, right? So that journey in that space of curiosity, intellectual curiosity, you're operating in these three spheres. I must be wrong in the conclusion I've come up with, or I have to be right, or I don't know. I actually love that space and that journey of having things solidified, or that journey in which you get to the point, I need to understand more, I need to do better, I need to learn more. So that's what both my channels are. But this channel is definitely a channel that I am acutely aware is a response of self. Myself, growing up in a community that utilized and constructed a God that was anti-racism, anti-bigotry, and a God that wanted his people to be stronger and to endure the battle for greater human rights, for greater dignity, and for safety. There's some rambling with this one, but it's one I'm quite passionate about. So I don't just post about African Americans who are Christian and their constructs, myriad of constructs of religiosity. I am fascinated by the way in which Israelis of faith construct their religiosity and how that influences their presentation and performance of self as Israeli Jews, I should say, Israelis, Jews. I'm fascinated by modern day performers, African American, and even in some of the videos that I find very disturbing because they're sexist, they're misogynist, they're violent. The performance of religiosity and the calling out for help. And sometimes the performance of I can't be touched, I'm impervious, I'm better than you, I'm this, I'm that, I can crush you, is the greatest voicing of vulnerability and fear. And the tradition in African American cultures, and I know it's in other cultures, of using song to communicate the space and place in which you're in. And how for some communities and cultures and people in those communities and cultures that has its basis in a performance and understanding of religiosity. So that's what I'll be doing with this channel, and again, I endeavor to do more and to do better. This is Debra V. Wilson. It is Sunday. I'm in England, and it is the 16th of June, 2019, and the time is now. Oh, I actually said it was 1,400 hours. It's 1,300 hours. 1,300 hours and 58 minutes, and that's GMT. Thank you.